The Minecraft prison community is a community where we try to achieve the goal of building an inescapable prison. About 2 years ago, not 2 years ago, more like 1.5 years ago, some guy by the name of Kenadian fully joined the community. He was in it a bit before, but wasn't that into it, I guess you could say. He was more into parkour. And he is the reason that prisons are where they are today. He is the reason that the community is still alive. And I just thought, well, what if he never joined the prison community? What would the prison community look like? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you my theory of what the prison community would look like if Kenadian never joined. To begin, I'm going to talk about how prisons would literally just be still cobblestone regenerating boxes, or crying obsidian observered boxes. Now, Kenadian is a person who kind of invented humane prisons. Another prison by the name of Kenos did it before, but Kenadian was more famous, and Kenos nobody cared about it, and it was a shit prison. Anyways, Kenadian released Elio Citadel, and it was the most humane prison ever. Massive humane cell, and without him, we wouldn't have this. You see? Without this, we'd just still be observer boxes and crystals, etc. And then, well, the next part into this is that, well, the prison wouldn't be as advanced. Kenadian invented a multitude of exploits such as wither drills, no regen, stuff like that, through his multiple escapes on many famous prisons like Temple of Ra, Raven's Coffin, Neptune's Monument, Snowgrave, and even like Loki's Final Vault, I guess. So, yeah, without him, these escapes would have never been made. These prisons, even like Loki's Vault, might have been considered one of the best prisons out there, just because nobody really could find flaws other than Kenadian finding easy flaws. Another thing, Kenadian inspired many to join, like Brandbert, even Avatar.png. So without him, they would have never joined, meaning no nether prisons would ever exist through Avatar.png, and eventually the prison community would not be where it is today. If it continued all the way up until today, what would happen is that we would still be stuck using 2021 technology, which it's strange. Gaia's Vault could be considered one of the best prisons today, and it's been 3 years since it released. 3 years! And eventually, after all this said and done, the prison community would die, and there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, it's dying right now, obviously, but it would have died at least a year ago, if not 2 years ago, if it weren't for Kenadian. Now, I'm going to move on into a totally different topic, Neon Void. Without Kenadian, Neon Void would have come to life, no doubt. Neon Void, it would have been worked on, and since there was no, competition, it would have been being built faster than before. Everyone would have wanted to join this massive 4th Sven prison, and it would have been finished. I believe that without Kenadian, Neon Void would have been finished, would have been released on Sven's channel, and it revived the prison community. I'm not kidding when I say this. Neon Void could have revived the prison community entirely back to its 2021 era if it weren't for Kenadian. But it'd be much worse than it would have been in today's standards. It would have been even worse than the unfinished version that's released. You see? Neon Void would have probably been considered one of the best prisons ever made and would have stayed that way for a while. It would have probably destroyed Raven's Coffin if that ever had a chance of releasing, Hell's Tomb, and even Guy's Vault. And it would probably be like the last inescapable prison. That would lead to the downfall of the prison community. Once again, if you see the pattern, everything the prison community leads to is it's dying. The Kenadian would have died at least 2 years earlier. So I think that's pretty unique. But without Kenadian, none of this would have happened. Lionel, the lion, never happened. Leon Void, oh my god, I'm so sad that it was cancelled. It was a beautiful prison. That would have never happened. Mangrove's Eye, never happened. Velox, never happened. Raven's Revenge, never happened. Icarus Tomb, I think it's called, that's how you pronounce it, never happened. The Arena also never happened. And then any of my prisons actually probably would have happened, except for the more recent ones. And even like the Bedrock prison community, it wouldn't have happened. Everything just wouldn't happen due to Kenadian having revolutionized these. Even though Kenadian has never played Bedrock Edition, he still revolutionized the Bedrock Edition community by making people strive to make good prisons. So that means Phoenix and Invictus they wouldn't release ever. Gabriel probably would not have joined the prison community ever. HM Prods, Anti-Blaze, that fucking like TMP guy, never joined. So I hope you see what I'm getting at. Kenadian was a big person in the community, and he is the reason the community is still kinda alive today. And without him, Neon Void would be the best prison. Scenes Fen would have made a fourth prison, I guess, and the prison community would have eventually died. The end.